Hello and welcome to Friday. It's our Fun Fold Friday. Oh, I am so glad it's Friday. How about all of you? It's been one darn long week. Am I right? So, I'm super excited about tonight because I've got some really fun fold cards. Can't wait to share them with you. So I am just logging on to my website on the other side there, just so I can see the feed. I'm just waiting for people to join us. So if you're here, say hello. All right. Let's see. Here we go. Okay. So let's go here and let's bring this full screen so I can see what's all happening here. There we go. Okay. Make sure you let me know when you're joining. What you're doing this weekend. Are you just going to, I don't know, go out on some adventure? Are you going to stay home and stamp? Because I am staying home and stamping in between cleaning. So here's my plan. I'm going to stamp a little. I'm going to clean a little. I'm going to reward myself by coming back and stamping some more. Hey, stop that. Sorry, my dog decided to start playing again. And when he does that, what happens? He hits my table. Okay, I just had an issue here with my iPad. Okay, there we go. All right, yay. So what is the Fun Fold class about? So this is our week 3 in our Fun Fold series. I'm just going to zoom in a little bit so you can see this while I'm chit-chatting here and waiting for people to join. I offered this class as an online class, and when you purchase $35 in my online store using this host code, here's the link to my online store. I do have that in the details of this event. I will make sure that I add it to the comments right after. I'll put another post with the pictures of tonight with this link as well. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and look in the description. Now, this class is only available from March 3rd through March 9th. And you must use this host code. Why is that important? Well, that tells me that you want this class. So if I don't know that you want this class, I'm not going to send it to you. So what do you get in the class? Well, you get all the supplies that you need to make 6 cards. There's 3 different designs. And basically what you're going to get, and I don't know where I just put my extra thing here. You're going to get 6 envelopes, and in your envelope is going to be all the supplies that you need for your cards. Let me zoom back out here. So you'll be getting 6 of these in your kit. Your kit will be labeled with today's date, as well as a link to the Facebook video and the YouTube link. So as soon as I get it up to YouTube, I will be creating little labels for these packages. You'll get everything that you see in these envelopes. I don't include the stamps. I don't include the ink or the adhesive. You need to have all that. Now, you can purchase $35 of whatever you want. You don't necessarily have to have the stamp sets I'm using, but if you do like them, they are available. You can use this with any stamp set that you have. But in addition to the 6 card kits, you are going to get a color PDF tutorial, which has pictures, measurements, supplies, and all the directions that you need to complete your cards. That way you can always have it on hand to know how to do. One of the things that I like to do when I'm doing these kind of cards is I use whatever scraps I have and I make a little sampler. And then I write my measurements down on there so I always have it available. But this is one of the fun folds that we're going to do tonight. So you're going to be getting that. Okay, let's get started on our first card. I just need to find my envelope here with all of my supplies for this one. Oh, that's right. This one's a little different. So let me show you the design that we're going to be doing. I'm going to move this up to the top. Hopefully you'll still be able to see it while I'm doing this. Let's see how far I can go. I don't know why my camera seems to be at a goofy angle here. I'm just going to adjust a little bit. I don't know which way to go here. Okay, come down just a tad. And I think I'll have everything aligned. There we go. All right. So now you have your thing here. And it's really bothering me that I don't have it straight. Let's see. I need to move this side up a little bit. Ooh, too much. Okay, I'm just going to leave that right where it is. All right, so our first card is going to be this fun fold, and we'll be using Designer Series paper. Now, in your kit, you're going to get 2 different pieces of Designer Series paper, and I'm going to show you a bunch of different ones that I have that will be sent. So depending on, you know, when I send it out, it may not be the exact one that I'm using in the video, but it will be one that can be done with your project, and the cardstock that you get with it will be coordinating, so you don't have to worry about any of that. But this is, yeah, the card that we're going to be making. So let's get started on this one. Let me show you the different colors that I have here. So this is a paper that I'll be using. What's most important about this is that you need to make sure that you have Designer Series paper that is not directional. Hi, Diane. And that is important because of the way that we're going to be folding this Designer Series paper. If you have directional paper, I mean, you can use it. It's just going to be a little harder to do your project. So I would really recommend paper that's not directional. All right. I just needed to grab some white cardstock because I didn't have some sitting at my desk. There we go. All right. So the different kind of designs I have will be coming out of the, and what is this called? I forgot what it's called. I just had it out. What did I do with it? Oh, let's see. Oh, here it is. Okay. You're going to get a piece of paper here. You're going to get 2 pieces of paper. That is from the Flowers and More Designer Series paper. This is host paper that's available in our mini catalog. So when you host a party or you put an order of $150, you have the opportunity to get that as a reward from Stampin' Up. But here's all the different kinds of papers that you'll find in there. So you'll be getting 2 different ones. So we'll be using this one for right now. Put all these other ones aside so I don't bend them. Okay. The first thing that we want to do with this 12 by 12 piece of paper, yours is going to be cut down for you, just so you know. It'll be cut to 8.5 by 11. Now, I recommend doing this with Designer Series paper, not cardstock, because the cardstock is pretty thick, and sometimes it's more of a challenge to fold on this one. We will be using a piece of cardstock, Fresh Freeze, as our card base, but I just want to let you know that. So let's go ahead and cut this one at 8.5 by 11. Again, I'll be cutting yours down to 8.5 by 11. So here's my 8.5. Just going to put this chunk aside, and then 11. And you can use any Designer Series paper you have for this. So if you want, I'm not going to be writing down measurements or stopping and going back and forth for the measurements. So you can rewatch the video, or if you place the $35 order in my online store, you're going to get the tutorial with all the information, directions, measurements, everything. All right. So we have our 8.5 by 11. The next thing that we want to do is simply fold this all in half. You can use the score on your trimmer, but all I'm going to do is just take this. I'm going to fold this right in half. This is a really great technique when you have a piece of Designer Series paper that you love both sides and you don't know which one you want to use. This is a great one for that. All right, so this is 8.5 by 11, and I'm just folding it in half. I do want to make it so I can see my score lines there, so you can take your bone folder and give it a good press. When you're using your trimmer to do your scoring, just be careful. Go back and forth several times. Don't push it really hard. Just go back and forth several times because you don't want to tear your paper. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut a slit right here, and I am going to bring in my trimmer to do that. So I'm going to flip my paper over because I can see my score line a little bit better when I'm using this lighter side. So I'm going from the edge here right to the middle, and I'm just going to take my blade here and just go right to that. All right. Now is the time you need to decide which way you want your paper to go. I do want, I really kind of want this side showing more. So I'm going to flip this over this way. And let's just see if I just want to make sure which way I'm going here. Yeah, okay. I'm going to take this bottom right panel here, And I am going to fold my corner over to the fold. Now, I don't want it exactly on that crease. I want it to be just shy, just a little bit. So don't go right to that score line. Just go a little ways away. Sometimes it helps to fold that a little bit more. All right. You just want a little bit of space between that. Okay. And so you can kind of tell when you lift up your paper here, you're not all the way to the edge. All right, so we've got that one there. Now this one, I need to mark this at 3 inches. It's going to be hard to see because I'm using a dark color. So I may just, well, I'm going to take my pencil and bring in my ruler here. And I'm just going to mark it at 3 inches, right on the top. All right. Just kind of a little guideline. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold this corner right there. All right, just like that. I'm going to make sure that I'm getting it straight. I'm going to press down it. You can take your bone folder. All right. So you got your corner here and your corner here. Now we may end up flipping this one. I haven't decided yet. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fold this one over. You're not going to be adhering anything yet. Okay. So I do like how much of this is showing. I really do. Now, I can fold this up and I can have 2 pieces the same way, or I can do this and have a little bit like that. I do like that, giving myself a little bit more design there. And then this piece I'm going to fold under. All right. Once I have that folded under, I'm just going to take my bone folder and kind of score along all my lines, just like that. I have a piece of fresh freesia here. I'm going to cut this cardstock to be 5.5 by 4.25. Now, if your folds aren't perfect, you can just kind of adjust this a little bit more. So if I wanted to make this line up a little bit more, and I will in just a second. Let me cut this first. So 5.5 by 4.25. This is going to be my base. All right. It just gives my card some stability. Okay. So this, like I said, I'm off a little bit. So let's go ahead and just kind of take my paper here and I'm going to refold that. Just to bring it over just a little more. I'm going to hold it over there. And I'm going to take my, just hold it in place. Kind of got to hold tight. All right. I'm going to start from kind of the middle and go out toward the edges. All right. There. It's a little easier to fold and it lines up a little better. Now I'm just going to adhere this right to that card base. So let's get some adhesive. Now, if you decide to make some of these fun folds, take a picture and post them on our group page. I would love to see them. Or better yet, send me one, because then I'll show it on Facebook Live. I do have some other cards, but I left them downstairs. I was going to share. Barbara sent a card with one of the other week Fun Fold classes. Turned out really nice. Okay, so now I have my pieces here, just like that. I don't have to do any other adhering because everything's going to be fine. If I wanted, I could put a little bit of glue here. I'm not really going to worry about that. So there we go. So we have this piece. Now I need to make my tags to go on the inside. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my TaylorMade tags. So we have our TaylorMade tags right here. And I am going to, and I'll do these for you, so this will be done for you. Grab 2 of the tags. I think I'm going to grab, I kind of like how decorative that one is. So I'm going to grab 2 of these. All right. And I'm also bringing in my Irresistible Blooms stamp set and dies. This is brand new. So this just came out March 1st. This is one of our online exclusives. So you can get this only online. So it's not in any catalog right now. Stampin' Up! Has decided to come up with some kind of fresh ideas that for a limited time, they're going to offer some fresh things. And so they're not going to put them in the catalog. They're going to call them online exclusives. If you haven't gone to my website, I encourage you to go and check them out. There are some really fun ones. Later this month, I am going to be having an exclusive stamp class What is exclusive stamp class? It's an in-person class, and we'll be using some of the exclusive online products, as well as some other products from our mini catalog. But that will be an in-person class. If you're not local to me and would like that, when I post the details of that class to sign up, you can just let me know and I can arrange to mail those to you, so you're not left out. All right, let's go ahead and, I just got this tonight. I had originally designed this with Nature's Prints, but when this came today, I thought, oh my gosh, these flowers go awesome with this designer series paper. So I couldn't wait to use them. So let's see. I want to see what other dies are in here. So what do we have? We have, ooh, some really pretty things in here. Ooh, 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 ooh. I'm just going to go with the flowers and leaves today. But, ooh, I can't wait to use this. This is going to be fun, 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 fun. All right. Let's go ahead. I'm going to put this aside. I'm going to cut these two. And let's go ahead and grab, I need 2 of each. So I need a piece of basic white here. Basic white. And I can fit 2 of those on there. And then I want a piece, I want I want a piece of fresh freesia here, and I'm going to put those as my tags. Actually, I'm almost thinking that I almost want to go with Parakeet Party. Originally I was really set on using my fresh freesia. I think we're going to switch it up, just because I think it'll look really pretty. Now, again, any of the designer series paper that you're going to get, I'm going to have the coordinating cardstock for you, so you don't have to worry about it. All right, can I fit these 2 on there? Yes, I can. Okay, great. Let's bring in our die cut machine. I'm going to use my large die cut machine just because these pieces are a little bit bigger and I want to be able to cut them out. So I'll use my large one here. When I cut a large label like this, what I like to do is I like to kind of angle my die. It just helps it pull the machine through and the die through. So you'll see as it comes through what I'm talking about. So you can see I put this in at a little bit of an angle. It just cuts so much nicer and smoother when you do that. So get another one going. Again, like I said, I originally did this in a different color and different design, but when this stamp set came in tonight, I knew I had to change it up. I just knew it. All right. Hello, Becky. Hi, Anne. How are you? It's been a while since I've seen all of you. All right. Let's go ahead and take our white and make our tags from our white. Oh, I just can't wait. I'm super excited about this card. It's going to be pretty. Now, this does, like I said, require a 12 by 12 piece of designer series paper. You'll have to cut it down. So 6 by 6 won't work for this design, just so you know. It'll work for all the other ones that we've got coming up, but not for this one. Alrighty. Put this aside for right now, because we're going to be using that again. Okay, so let's bring back in our card here and put this back where it needs to be. All right, so I'm going to end up layering these like this. Even though it has the little circle on there, you're not going to notice because we're going to put a piece of ribbon and you're not going to even see it. So let me get my ribbon. I'm going to be pulling in my Fresh Freesia open weave ribbon. And as I grabbed it, everything else fell out of my ribbon container. That is one challenge I have, I gotta tell you. I have a challenge with storing ribbon. I haven't found the solution that works for me yet. So if you have a solution, feel free to share it. I would love to know. All right. So one of the other things I'm going to ask you to do while you're watching Facebook or while you're watching live, send me some thumbs up, send me some love. Facebook and YouTube really like to see that people like to interact when they're watching these videos, and it really does help promote my page and my channel. So I'd really appreciate if you do that. Let's see what else I want to do. Oh, I'm trying to figure out stamp set here. I want my stamp set. So we're going to grab, again, I told you it's brand new. We're going to grab these little flowers. This here dear little flower. Yeah, we'll just grab that one. And I'm not going to put my labels on right now, but I just want to leave this out so I can see what other stamps I have here. And I'm pulling a block. And we're going to take a scrap piece of paper here. And put my labels here. All right, so now, let's see. So I'm just trying to think. I'm going to put, hello, hooray, it's your day. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so let's take this and let's get our fresh freesia pad. Let's stamp some flowers on here. I'm just going to stamp one on the corner, just like that. I'm going to pull in the little leaves here, and there's a couple little leaves. I'm going to grab these really small ones. Just because my label is small, my tag is small, I feel that I should use a smaller stamp for my leaves. Grab my small little block here, and I'm going to pull in also my shaded spruce. That coordinates with this cardstock. And let's see, I want to put my sentiment on. So we're going to do hello, hello. Reminds me of Mrs. Doubtfire. Hello. I can't help that. All right, so there's my hello. Let's just stamp it right here. There we go. Looking good so far. I just need to get my mist here so I can clean my stamps as we go. All right. I'll just put that back here. Ooh, got a big whiff of that in my nose. All right, so now that's pretty dark. So let's see if we go a little lighter. I'm thinking that actually it would be fun to use our Parakeet Party. Kind of tying all these colors that are in our designer series paper together. So here's Parakeet Party. Let's clean this off again. And we'll stamp a few little leaves. This is such a cute stamp set. You know, I don't always buy a lot of floral stamp sets. I mean, in the grand scheme of things, I probably don't buy a lot of florals. But I don't know, there was something about this one that just struck me as I need to have it. All right, and I'm going to put one up, I think right on the top here. Okay, oh, that's pretty. That turned out kind of pretty. All right, let's get that one cleaned. Oh, I shouldn't have cleaned it. I'm going to use it again. All right, so let's go for our next tag here. And we're going to stamp the hooray, it's your day. Okay, we'll grab our shaded spruce again. There we go. That fit pretty well. All right, so let's get those put away so I don't lose them. All right, and tonight's really not about the stamping, it's actually about the cards, but I do like to do the stamping when I'm doing making the cards for you. So let's put a couple on this one. I put the flower, but this time I have the flower more right here. Okay. All right. And if we wanted, we could actually put a piece of white cardstock on the back and leave whatever other sentiment you want on there. You know, maybe you want to write a little note to them, to whoever you're gifting it to. But hey, these are fun things to do, easy things to do, and people are going to be like amazed by your cards. Like, wow, you made that? That's awesome. And say, yep, it took me all day long. They don't have to know. It just took you a little bit. Because you know what? You take the time to make something for them. Let them appreciate that you did that for them. All right. Now let's get these put together. Let's take our adhesive here. Just put an adhesive right in the back. And I hope I have my stapler handy. Okay. Hello. Hooray. Hello and hooray. So we're just going to tuck those in just like that. I do want to have my ribbon on there, so I want to grab my little stapler. And I was hoping I had it handy, but I don't know what I did with it. So let me just go to the other room and get my large stapler. Okay. So yeah, I really do like the small stapler. In fact, you can get staples that are different colors, but I just don't know what I did with it. So we take our ribbon here. And I'm just cutting a couple pieces off. I'm going to fold it in half. And I know I have to trim these down more, but we're going to put this right here, just like that. Kind of open them up a little bit. Slide in our stapler. Oh. Okay. My ribbon is catching my stapler here. All right. Here we go. Okay. So we'll trim these down just a little bit here. Let's get this one done. And I'm just putting my ribbon kind of right over where that hole is, and that's where I'm trying to put my staple. Just like that. Okay. You know what, that was not, we'll trim it down a little bit more. Tuck that one in there. All right. Now we're almost done, but we need to have something on the front, right? So let's go ahead and bring in a scrap piece of white here that we had earlier. And I'm going to stamp the larger flower this time on here. I'm hoping that's big enough. Oh yeah, that'll just fit. Okay. Grab our fresh fuchsia again. And stamp one right here. And I think I'm going to grab my smaller one too. Stamp that one right here. Okay. All right. And again, you'll get little scraps and stuff for your piece. I'll probably just actually throw one big chunk in there. And let's grab a couple leaves. So let's do our leaves here and our, I don't know, I keep grabbing a label. It's not like I'm going to be able to stamp, you know, the label. I'm going to stamp a couple of leaves. So we're going to use the large one and the small leaf. All right, get rid of these. Oh, it's really staticky in my house. Everything's sticking to me. So I'll do one. I don't know exactly how many I want, so I'm just going to do several. And we'll run this all through the die cut machine real quick. So let's bring that back in. We can actually tear this excess off, and we can do it all at one time. So now let's grab our dies. All right. And they have these really neat detail dies too. Those would be fun to use. All right, our flour, our other flour. Bring back in our die cut machine. Now I could definitely fit those in the mini, but I want to be able to cut everything out at one time. Because sometimes I'm lazy that way. Actually, it's because I want to be able to get through all these cards before 8 o'clock. We'll get through them before then, I promise. I want to make this a little faster. Some of the other things I already have done. Just so that when I upload this to YouTube, it's not as long of a video. I've found that I get more viewers when my video is a little shorter. But I don't want to cut anything out on you. I want to give you the full experience. Okay. That one. Okay, I've got one more leaf to cut out and one more flower. And then we'll be done with that. And we'll be moving on to our next card momentarily. So, do I have names for these fun folds? No, I actually don't. I don't know what to call it. A double pocket? I don't know. Let's go with that, double pocket. That's what we'll call it. Lacking of a different name. I don't know. All right. Alrighty. And we'll get rid of some of these scraps here. Put those over to the side. Oh, now where did I put my magnets here? I have my handy dandy little magnet sheet so I can drop my dies on there so they'll stay in one place and I don't have to go scrambling to find them when I'm done. All right, I'm going to grab some dimensionals. And of course, I think I'm out of large dimensionals. I mean, I'm not out by any means, but I didn't have a new package open. All right, so let's take these and we're going to kind of decorate the front here. We'll pop that one, I think, one up in front and put that right there too. There we go. I think that'll look nice. All right, let's get our flowers popped up here. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab some of these larger pieces over here. Oh, it doesn't want to come off. All right, come on. All right, so let's put this one up here. All right, notice I left myself a little bit of room so I can tuck those other ones underneath because I am just going to take some liquid glue or my seal, since I have seal right here, and we're just going to slide those underneath. Just put it like that. And one there, and right here. I don't know. There we go, kind of like that. All right. We'll take this one up on a dimensional. That way. Put a little adhesive on here. Slide that under. The adhesive right here. Slide that under. There are so many different things you can do just by the different designer series paper that you use. But look how cute that is. So now you got a nice little note to send to someone. And this will fit in a regular envelope. So let's go ahead and grab out our envelope here. And we might as well do some stamping on it, right? So we'll bring back in our leaves. And our flower. Our scrap piece of paper. Where did I put that? And we'll grab our leaf. And just going to tuck that one right there. And we'll put this one right here. There we go. All right. Nice little decorated envelope, all set to go. We'll slide this right in. Push in your little ribbons there. There you go. And you are all set to address it and send it out. All right, we'll get these cleaned up and we'll move on to our next card. So I'd like to bring you a fun fold that looks like it may be hard or challenging, but it's not. I'd like to be able to show you, because sometimes you see them out there and you're like, oh my gosh, I can never make that. That is way too painful for me. These really aren't. Try it. They're fun. And once you start doing fun folds, oh my gosh, your card making world will completely change. Just saying. But, you know, sometimes it is nice just to make a nice simple card. Got to have those too. But you mix it up. Have fun with it. It gets your creativity going. And when you get your creativity going, it kind of gives you some endorphins. It kind of, I don't know, washes away that stress. And Lord knows we all have enough stress in our lives, right? I think that's why he gave us stamping. That's why he gave us our creative genes. And everyone does have a creative gene. Don't let someone tell you you don't. You do. You can copy someone else's card exactly, or you know what? Change up the colors. You've now been creative. I always laugh when I have customers come over and they're like, I'm not creative. I can't do that. And then we'll be stamping. Do you mind if I change this in this direction? Absolutely not. Have fun with it. Be creative. All right, let's get to our next card. Let's do this one. So this is our other card. Now, you can have it go this way, or you can have it go this way. So we're going to do this one this way. And the stamp set that I want to use on that is it's a fun one. I haven't used it quite yet. This is called Sit, Stand, Relax. It is a Hostess set that is available. I think it's in the regular catalog. Let me just go and quick see. I thought it was so cute when I saw it. I'm like, I have to have that because I am, you know, I fall for those punny sets. Yep. It's in our annual catalog right here. So when you host a party or your collective friends order or even put in your own orders, you can get 10% of what you spend as a reward. So then you can get these stamp sets or the paper. So just something to think about. And there's no judging. I may have placed, you know, a couple orders that have been significant. Just saying. There's no judging here. Okay. So we are going to start. I don't need my stamp set yet. I'm going to share with you all the paper pieces first. We have an 4 1/4 by 11 piece of cardstock, which is going to be our base. We have a piece of Designer Series paper, and this is from our Country Floral Lane. There's all different things left. This just isn't for Valentine's. There's a lot of fun patterns on the other side, so check them out. You can use it for a birthday. You can use it for a anniversary card. It's not just a Valentine. So it's the Country Floral Lane. Again, it tells you the colors that are in the back there. All sorts of fun things. And that is still available. It's in our January to June mini catalog. All right. We have 2 more pieces of Designer Series paper. These both measure 4 inches by 2.5 inches. I have 2 pieces of Mossy Meadow because it coordinates with this cardstock here, this Designer Series paper. These 2 pieces are 4.5 by 3 1/4. And then I have 2 pieces of Basic White, and these measure 4 1/4 by 3. So they're just a 1/4 inch smaller. All right. So we have that and that. I'm going to put my envelope aside for right now. We'll move this over, and we are going to be doing some scoring. So on the 11-inch side here, we're first going to score at 2 3/4. Make sure you get your trimming blade out of the way. So 2 3/4. Again, you don't have to press hard. You can just go back and forth several times. And then we're going to slide this up to 5 1/2. pretty easy so far, right? Again, you can turn this any direction that you want. All right. So I'm folding this in half. Now, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one and fold it back the other direction. Right? Kind of a Z fold. That's what a Z fold is called. Right? But we're going to step this one up. So let's start with putting our designer series paper. So this is our 4 by 5 1/4. What did you just do with my adhesive? Here it is. I got it. It's here. Now this is Petal Pink. Again, I pick my colors by my designer series paper. The back of my designer series paper always tells me what colors are in the paper. I don't have to think about it. And we're going to take these and we're going to put them on the other 2 panels. Again, if you're using directional paper, just make sure that your paper is going the right direction. Okay, so this is going to be like this. All right. Looks kind of plain right now, right? It's going to be pretty in just a minute. Okay, and I'm using this. I just needed to grab, I think I want to grab some embellishments here. I went to grab, sorry. What did I grab? Our solid faceted gems. I like these because this has Petal Pink and Mossy Meadow in it. It also has Mint Macaron. So it goes with this paper really well. So we'll be using those. So our solid faceted gems. And let's see. What do I want to do next? We're going to do some stamping here. Well, we can actually put these pieces on. So I'm going to take my 1 cardstock here. And I am just going to center it right here. Just like that. Now I'm going to fold this down. And I'm just going to put adhesive across the top here. Just like that. And I'm going to line those 2 up. Just like that. And press down. There we go. So now I've got my layer just like that. See, not so hard right now. Okay, let's do some stamping. And let's pull out this stamp set. So I kind of want some, because it's cascading here, I want to have 2 different kind of phrases. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this little chair with this cat on it. Now, normally I would gravitate to grabbing a dog, but I like the pattern that's on that chair. So that is why I grabbed that one. I'm going to take this and I'm going to stamp this. I'm going to stamp it a little bit lower because I'm also going to put just sitting here thinking of you. So I'm going to stamp this in our, got 3 different colors here. I've got Petal Pink, Calypso Coral, and Mossy Meadow. I'm going to go ahead and grab our Calypso Coral. And I want my scrap piece of paper here again. I want to see really how dark this is going to be. So I can stamp once and twice. I think we're okay if we just stamp them 1 time. All right. So I'm going to stamp that right there. There you go. All right, so let's get this cleaned off. All right. Oh, that didn't clean very well. I think I need to clean my scrub. So to clean this scrub here, you can just run it under the kitchen sink. Just saying. Quick and easy way to clean it. Sometimes I'll stamp off after I've cleaned it just to make sure there's no other ink on there and it's not wet. All right. Now I'm going to come back in with Mossy Meadow. And we're going to stamp our sentiment, just sitting here thinking of you. All right, we'll grab that block. Ooh, that didn't stamp well. I did not stamp that well at all. So let's flip our paper over and do it again. It's because this block, this is not the right size block to use. Here we go. This is the block I wanted to use. I was just making sure I didn't have any shadows, because the first time I stamped it, I kind of had that shadow. That's what I didn't like. All right, so got that. And let's re-stamp our... And maybe I will use a petal pink. I don't really like how that Calypso Coral looked either. So let's take this. I'm going to stamp it on my scrapbook. Oh, that was really light. I may just have to because I think my stamp pads needs to be re-inked. Well, let's do this. I should have probably checked that before the video, right? Oh well, it happens. All right, let's just go with the green this time. Okay, we're going to go with that lighter green. So I'm going to stamp it off, come back here and stamp right on there, just like that. All right, we'll leave that open. And we'll be putting this on the front right here. All right, let's get our second one here. So just sitting here thinking of you. And now let's grab one of the other chairs. I really like this chair. Isn't this cute with the flowers on it? Or the leaves on it? I think it goes really good with the stamp set. Or the designer series paper. Of course it goes with the stamp set, you goof. And I'm saying that to me, not to you. It's Friday. I'm bound to make mistakes. All right, let's get that put on there. Now, again, I'm just going to ink this one up. I'm going to stamp it. And actually, that's pretty light, so I think I am just going to use it just like it is. Oh, and I got shadows on there. Let's try that again. That's much better. Hopefully, I don't get a shadow there. So just stamp that one. All right, we're going to dress that up with our embellishments in just a minute. And now let's see what we want to stamp on there. Just sitting here thinking of you, and I'm going to say wish you were here. Missing you, wish you were here. So let's go missing you. And let's do this. Missing you and wish you were here. So I'm going to do both at the same time. So I've got those on there. I just want to line them up a little bit straighter. So missing you and wish you were here. Again, I'm just gently tapping because if I push really hard on my pad, I'm going to get all those shadow marks. And then when I go to stamp my sentiments, I'm going to be really mad at myself. There we go. Okay. Now, we can come back in, and I think I'm going to do this. I'm going to grab in a blending brush here. Not a blending brush. Oh, sorry, one of my blends. I'm going to grab the Petal Pink. I just need to be careful when I'm coloring with it that I don't cross into the lines of the Mossy Meadow. So I just feel like I need some color here. So let's see. I'll come back in with this one. And I am just going to go around the edge of the chair. Just like this. Just felt I needed a little more color. Again, I'm trying not to touch the Mossy Meadow when I'm doing this, because that will kind of bleed. So remember, that's a water-based one, so the alcohol markers will kind of pull in that color. So we want to try to avoid that. All right, and we'll just put a little color on this one. There we go. All right. Now, let's add a little sparkle and shine. So we're going to grab our... Okay, that... I don't know why I keep putting the ones that are dried out back in my little bucket here, because it's not going to help me. There we go. Okay. So, let's take this one. We're going to open up our scrap piece of paper here. And we'll just go ahead and do a little bit of splatter. Okay, there's one. And I'm going to do it on this one as well. Let's just open this up this way. Oh, whoopsie. Yep, it's Friday. Oh well, no one's going to see that in the back of my card anyways. Okay. Here we go. And let's get this one adhered. Ooh, now this really actually, getting that little Wink of Stella on there, look what it did with the Mossy Meadow. It kind of really made that pop. That's kind of cool. Let's do something. No, we're not. No, we're not. We're just going to put this on because, you know what? It's not about the stamping techniques tonight. It's about the fun fold. See what happens? I get that squirrel moment and I go. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and put some embellishments on. That will kind of liven up this card. So we'll just put some random ones on here. So I think we'll start with a Mossy Meadow up here. And we'll put one of the pink ones. Come on. Oh, it's stuck to the goo. It's stuck to the putty. All right. Just squish your putty into a little ball there. All right. And we'll put a large one over here. Okay. And we could put a few more on, because you don't really want to put them on the inside, because when you close your card, then it'll be popped up. So we'll just keep decorating the front here a little bit. And maybe. Okay, we're going to go right there with one. And we'll go up here. Sure, why not? And let's see. Should I put one more? No, I think I'm good. All right. There we go. So that is our fun fold number 2. So basically it's a Z fold with a secret kind of panel there. All right. And we'll just put that over here and let's get to our third card. Done with all that. Done with those. Okay, third card, where are you? So we're changing it up a little bit. And we're going to be using Blackberry Bliss and Crushed Curry. I'm going to pull in our Lighting the Way stamp set. This is going to be the Class to Go featured stamp set. Look for that coming out this weekend. I run it from March 5th to March 15th. That's the time frame you have to register for it. Now, the class doesn't require the stamp set and dies. I highly recommend it so you can make the cards the way I design them. But you don't have to. You can use your own. But you get everything in the Class to Go. You get 5 cards in a 3D project. So you get 6 projects. I include the step-by-step instructions. That gets emailed to you. And then I do all the die cutting, everything else that you need, any scoring, any embossing that's not part of here. Would be part of your kit. All right, so now let's go to this one. This is the card that we're going to be making right here. So I always like to have my little samples here. So this is how I have a little box of fun folds. And I keep all my fun folds together. So when I want to do one, I can pull it out. But this way I have all the measurements right on here, and I don't have to worry about it. So I'm going to put that aside because I'll need to look at that as we go. I just need to take a sip of soda here. Now with this one, you're going to be getting a piece of 6x6 designer series paper. And it's from the designer series paper from the annual catalog. There's all different ones. So it will always match what I'm giving you though. So you don't have to worry about that. So these pieces here are cut at 2 inches by 5 1/4. This one, these two are cut at 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. There's a scrap piece of Blackberry Bliss, which you'll use for the lantern in that stamp set. We have a piece of Basic White, which we'll also be using for some stamping. You'll have a piece of Balmy Blue, and this is 8 1/2 by 5 1/2. And then you have a 2 by 5 1/4 inch Basic White, which is going to be on the back of your card. So on here, it'll be right back there so you can write your notes, write your sentiment, sorry, your notes. Okay, so let's get to scoring this. I'm going to bring in my trimmer, and I'm going to score this at, the easiest way I found to do this is to score this at 2 inches on the 8 1/2 inch side, 2 inches, and then 3 1/8. And then I flip this around and I do the same thing. I do 2 inches by 3 1/8. All right. There we go. Instead of trying to measure all the way across, just do your 2 inches on both sides and 3 1/8 on both sides. Okay. And then we're just going to fold this back and forth. Get my bone folder out here. So whenever you're working on fun folds, 3D projects, you really do want to have some nice, crisp score lines. Come back over here and get this one. So I'm pushing pretty hard because my tabletop here has a mat on it. So it tends to need a little bit more scoring. All right. All right, so let's turn this one over and score it. Okay. Let's flip this one over and score that. Okay. So then, just going to do this. Okay, so this is the base of our card, and yes, it will fit in the envelope. All right, so let's start decorating our base here. So again, we've got our 3 pieces of designer series paper. So our 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 go on one side. I like to lay this flat when I do it, just so I can line it up. And then our other 1 3/4 by 5 1/4 goes on the other panel. Just like that. Now I'll try to send everyone this same designer series paper, but I may have to change it up depending on how many people place orders and how many kits I have to send out. All right, and then this one we're going to put right on our middle. So we'll put this one right here, like so. All right, so this is how our card is going to look. So we can move this off to the side right now. And, oops, I forgot to put these guys away. Let me put those away before I forget that I have them out. All right. I want to die cut my, excuse me, my lantern from here. So I'll put my lantern here. I'm going to die cut a couple of my lightning bugs. And on this one, I actually want to use one of my Duckle dies here. Now all the die cutting for this will be done for you because we're using quite a few things. Let's see, is this one going to fit? Is that the one I used? Yes, it will. Okay. All right. Let's bring in our die cut machine. Ooh, we are almost done. So making fancy folds does not have to take you hours and hours and hours, especially if you go ahead and make a template and you have it, you know, everything already written up for you. It makes it so much easier. So you want to go and make some cards, just pull out your little template. Right. There. Put this right there. I'm going to take our decal and our white. And I do want to save myself a little bit of room for a sentiment. And actually what I'll do is, let's see if I can fit those both on here. Oh, I can. All right. So again, all the die cutting is going to be done for you. So when you have your kit, all you have to do is get your stamps and your ink out and your adhesive, and you can put together your cards. All right. Alrighty. Now, when I do send out that kit, so the first card that we did, that 8.5 by 11 designer series paper, I'm going to be scoring that in half for you, so it will fit in the envelope better. But you'll do all the rest of the scoring. I'm just going to do one score for you so it fits. And where did my magnet go? Okay. So sometimes these little dies stick in there. You can push it out with your pointy tip on your Take a Pick tool. Oops. There we go. I was just trying to put that down here is all I was trying to do. There. I'll put that aside. Put that one over here so don't forget that one. There we go. All right. Get this put away. Pop these out. All right. Let's bring in our card base. Oh, it's stuck in my finger. All right. So we're going to be putting this right on the front like that. Before I put it on the front though, I'm going to be putting my lantern there. And what I want to do is I'm going to take just a little bit of a pencil mark and do it ever so lightly. Just a little dot, little teeny tiny dot. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in one of my blending brushes here. And I'm going to pull in my crushed curry. Let's get my scrap here. I'm going to dab that off a little bit. And then I'm just going to put a little bit right in there. Just like that. All right. Come back in with my pencil and erase my little mark. Here we go. All right. It's just going to put a nice little glow behind my lantern. I just love doing that. It's just so cute. Okay. Now, I have my sentiment here, so let's take a look at what sentiments we have. Follow your dreams. You're all kind of wonderful. And then all sorts of little things here. We're going to do follow your dreams because that will fit just sweetly on there. I'm going to stamp that in Blackberry Bliss as well. Let's bring our card back here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my block, one of my larger blocks here, and just kind of set that right there. It just kind of holds my card in place. All right. So that way I can kind of get this all assembled. All right. Next I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere these two together. In fact, I think I'm going to pop this up a little bit. Oh, I'm going to pop that up. Never mind. Let's get some liquid glue here. And I'll put some glue right on here. All right. Put this right on the front. Just like that. You know, and maybe I just want to put a little bit of green down at the bottom here. Just so it's not like floating in space, right? So I'm going to bring back in my Mossy Meadow. And we'll just bring in, not that right now. We're just going to bring in this right here. And I'm just going to add some like kind of grass on the bottom. So let's see, what am I larger? Go right here. Right. So I'm just going to come in and not do a whole lot, just a tiny little bit. There we go. Just add a little something, something. If I wanted, ooh, this might be kind of cool too. We could make it almost seem like it's a tree holding that. So if I do this just right, almost looks like the tree is holding a lantern. All right. I got that clean. So I'll clean my other block. All right. Get this out of the way. I'm going to bring in my little fireflies again. Now, where did the third one go? I need 3 little fireflies. Where did you go? Oh, 1, 2. Found it. Found it. Lost it. All right, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to bring back in my Wink of Stella here. And I'm just going to color my little fireflies. I just want to give them a little bit of shine. Just want to be careful I don't squeeze that too hard because I don't want that all gushing out all of a sudden. So we'll flip this one over. We'll flip this one over. All right. I'll just move this over to dry for just a moment. Let's take back in our lantern here, and let's just give it a little bit of a glow in here. There we go. Can you see that? It's really actually very pretty. I don't know how well you can see it on the video. Let's see if I turn it a little bit. Let it focus. You can kind of sort of see it. Maybe just put a little bit more on there. Okay, can you see it now? Well, you sort of see it. All right. Okay, so slide those off. Let's bring in our, oh, you know, before I put these on, I want to flip this over and let's put our piece of basic white right on the back. This gives me another little place to write a nice little sentiment to whoever I'm sending this to. All right. I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. Just kind of give another little crease there. There we go. What's nice about this is this card will also stand. So when you have your final pieces on there, it'll stand really nice. Okay, I'll just put that there. I'm going to go ahead and grab my dimensionals here. And we're going to put some on there. Again, let's just grab our scrap pieces here. And really, I'm just going to put it along the center here. I don't want to put it along the edges because then it will stick to here. And that's not what I want to have happen. So I'm just grabbing a bunch of little random pieces here. Peel those back ends off. There we go. And we'll put our little fireflies on here. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of liquid glue, drop those on there. And we'll put one right down here. Drop that right here. And let's pop this one up on a dimensional. I might have it going in a different direction. All right. And let's see. You know what? I think we're just going to pop it right there. Okay. Now all we have left is our sentiment. So I'm just going to go ahead, pop this up on dimensionals and put it more towards the bottom here. But I'm not putting dimensionals all the way across. I'm only going to put it on the side here. And we'll grab one more. So like halfway. Now if I had my large dimensionals, I probably would have only used 2. So just put that right there. Because again, you don't want this sticking to the front of your card. All right, so that is our third and final card of the night. What do you think about these? Tell me which one that you like best. Do you like our little stand-up one here? Now, if you wanted, you could always stamp in here. You could put some more Designer Series paper. Totally up to you. Do you like our little top-loading Z-fold? Or do you like the Designer Series paper hidden notes? Our double pocket. So tell me which one that you like. I like them all. I love doing fun folds. I think they're a lot of fun. Huh, okay, that's why I call them fun folds. You can call them fancy folds and then say they're a lot of fun. But they're easy to do, and it's just a little change of pace. So thank you so much for joining. I appreciate your time and that you spend it with me on a Friday evening. I know there's a lot of things that you could be doing. So I do really appreciate it, and I hope you all have a great weekend. Take care. Oh, and don't forget, so we have one more class coming up. So we do have a 4th week. Our Fun Fold week 4 class is the, I can't think, so let me grab my calendar here. It is 2 weeks from now, and it will be on Friday the 17th. Yes, it's St. Patrick's Day, I know. So if you go out and celebrate St. Patrick's Day, happy St. Patrick's Day, but I will be here doing fun folds. So feel free to join me. Again, when you place a $35 in my order in my online store this week through March 9th, you will get the card kits to make 6 cards, 2 of each design. You get all the supplies here. And this is the only one that may differ in Designer Series paper. It just depends on how many orders I get in on which Designer Series paper you'll get. But you will get coordinating colors with it. Don't worry, your cardstock, your ribbon, all that stuff will match with whatever I give you. All right, and here is the host code. So thank you all for your support. It really does help me a lot when you use these host codes so I can get other product to bring and share to you. All right. Now I'll let you go. Have a great evening.